an important question for each of us. What do we live for? Is it money, fame, or love? Life is full of difficult choices, but one thing is certain: love and sincerity are the paths to peace of mind. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha taught, winning 1,000 enemies is not as good as winning yourself. Those who know how to love, understand, and forgive themselves will be able to spread that love to others. That is the most lasting victory. Start each day with a kind thought and treat others kindly, even in the smallest things. You don't need to change the whole world. Just spread love to one person each day, and the whole world will change from there. View mistakes gently. People often tend to nitpick the mistakes of others. But that judgment is the biggest obstacle that makes us lose peace of mind. There is a story about a monk who was falsely accused of being the father of a child. Despite being criticized, he did not defend himself, only saying, "So what?" A few years later, when the mother actually confessed, the monk still did not blame her. This demonstrates the calmness in the face of gossip. When you know how to keep your mind calm in the face of judgment, you will free yourself from suffering. As the Buddha taught, words are a double-edged sword. We not only hurt others, but also hurt ourselves. Therefore, words should be carefully considered. Family and filial piety. The value of time with parents. Parents are the ones who always love us unconditionally. However, busy lives make many people forget the importance of family, only realizing it when it is too late. A successful businessman once said that throughout his youth, he was only concerned with making money and did not spend time with his parents. When they passed away, he realized that money could not fill the void in his soul. We cannot turn back time, but we can choose to live wholeheartedly with our loved ones right now. Don't let regrets become a burden on our souls when it's too late. Time spent with family is never wasted. Let go to live peacefully. Excessive attachment to fame and wealth only makes people suffer more. To find peace, sometimes letting go is the only way. During a lecture, a Zen master told his disciple to hold a glass of water and hold it all day. By evening, the disciple was exhausted and forced to let go. The Zen master said, "The glass of water doesn't hurt you, it's your clinging that causes it." When we know how to let go of things that are no longer necessary, we can freely welcome new things. As in the Buddhist teachings, all things are impermanent. Happiness does not lie in possessing, but in not being possessed by material things. Patience, not weakness, but courage. Many people think that patience is cowardice. However, in Buddhism, patience is an infinite strength that helps people overcome all challenges in life. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha tells the story of a monk who was severely insulted but did not retaliate. When asked why, the monk said, "If I do not accept that gift of anger, it still belongs to the sender." Patience not only helps you avoid conflicts, but also protects your soul from unnecessary hurt. As the Buddha taught, those who can be patient are the strongest because they do not let their ego dominate their minds. Live not just to survive, but to understand the meaning of life. People do not live only to achieve material goals. Spirituality helps us find the true nature of life, that is, the joy of understanding and gratitude. There is a story about a man who reached the pinnacle of his career, but still felt empty. When he started meditating and searching for inner peace, he found true happiness. Life is not a race for fame and fortune, but a journey to find peace of mind. When you live with gratitude and kindness, you will find that joy is always present in the simplest things. Life is a short journey, and the most important thing is not how much we have achieved, but how we have lived. Live with gratitude and love, because those are the most lasting values. When you know how to love and be kind, you not only help yourself, but also spread joy to everyone. As a famous saying goes, give a smile, and the world will smile with you. In life, the companions you travel with greatly affect the journey and the results you achieve. Choosing good friends not only helps us progress, but also serves as a support in difficult times. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha tells of a person who was traveling through a thorny forest. If he had a friend with him, this person would help him find a safer path, but if he chose the wrong companion, he could be led into a dead end or into danger. Similarly, good friends will not only stand by us in good times, but also help us in difficult times. Lesson: life is like a long road. Choosing the right friends is finding the light that guides the way. Relationships based on sincerity, trust, and sharing will help you not only grow, but also have lasting joy. Meditation and inner peace. Meditation is not only a method to reduce stress, but also a path to help people find peace in their hearts. A Zen story tells of a scholar who came to see a Zen master and said, "I have read thousands of books, but still cannot find peace." The Zen master just poured tea into a cup until it overflowed. He said, "Your mind is as full as this cup. Let it be empty, and you will find peace." Peace does not come from external things, but from letting go and living in the present. Every day, take time to meditate, even if it is just for a few minutes, to listen to your mind and find balance. The meaning of failure and tolerance. Failure is a valuable lesson. People often fear failure and try to avoid it. However, failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. In the story of Thomas Edison, he failed more than 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about those failures, he replied, "I have not failed. I have just found 1,000 ways that will not work." In Buddhism, there is no concept of failure, only experience and learning. When facing difficulties, be tolerant of yourself and others. Don't let failure discourage you. Each stumble is an opportunity for you to move forward with greater wisdom. Impermanence and the art of living in the present. Accepting impermanence to find freedom. Everything in life changes, and impermanence is inevitable. Accepting this will help us live more lightly. There is a story that one day the Buddha took his disciples to watch the sunset. He asked, "Will this beautiful scene last forever?" The disciples replied, "No, it will disappear." The Buddha said, "So, enjoy this moment without regretting when it is gone." Happiness lies in appreciating the present. Don't worry too much about the future or the past. As the Buddha taught, do not seek the past, do not dream of the future, but live in the present. Forgiveness and letting go of resentment. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Resentment does not hurt others, but it is a burden on our souls. Forgiveness is not accepting wrongdoing, but freeing ourselves from suffering. In the Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha tells of two people holding hot coals to throw at each other. Whether the other person is hurt or not, the thrower's hand will definitely be burned. Resentment is the same. It hurts the one holding it. Let go of hatred to find peace. Forgiveness is the most precious gift you can give yourself. When your soul is light, life will also become more beautiful. True happiness. Knowing enough is enough. The meaning of gratitude and feeling full. Happiness does not come from what you have, but from how you feel what you have. Gratitude is the key to living happily. There is a story about a poor man who only had a small house and a vegetable garden. However, every day he was grateful for the roof and food. When a rich man asked him how he could be happy with that life, he replied, "I don't have much, but I have everything I need." Knowing enough is rich. Life does not need to be full of material things, just a full soul. Cherish the little things and be grateful every day. Spiritual connection with others. Relationships are life lessons. Every person that appears is a blessing. Every person we meet in life brings a lesson, whether happy or sad. Seeing every encounter as a blessing will help us live with gratitude and tolerance. A story is told about a woman who had many failures in relationships. Instead of blaming others, she decided to look back at herself and learn to love herself first. As a result, she found true love when she stopped trying to find it in others. Relationships are opportunities for us to understand ourselves and develop compassion. Cherish every person who appears in your life because they all bring valuable lessons. The journey back to yourself. Life is a journey where every day is an opportunity for us to learn, grow, and love more. Happiness is not something far away, but lies in every breath, every present moment. As the Buddha taught, no one can save you but yourself. Don't rely on others, but walk on your own 2 feet. Live wholeheartedly, love sincerely, and let go of unnecessary things. Then you will find true joy and peace. We often get caught up in expectations about the future or regrets about the past, forgetting that all we really have is the present. Mindfulness is the ability to be aware of each moment, to recognize our emotions and thoughts, and not let them control our actions. The Buddha once told a story about a man who was so engrossed in searching for gold that he didn't realize he had stepped on a precious pearl under his feet. Only when he turned around and stopped did he see that the pearl was already within his reach. We always run after distant goals, forgetting that joy and happiness can be right in front of us in seemingly small moments. Stop looking for great things that are out of reach and start enjoying what you have. Life will be less tiring when we learn to be content with the present and stop running after meaningless things. Acceptance and self-compassion. People often judge and compare themselves to others, causing increased self-esteem and suffering. However, accepting yourself does not mean giving up on perfection, but understanding and loving yourself sincerely. A story in Buddhist scriptures tells of a disabled girl who was always self-conscious and resentful of life. Until one day, she met a monk who said, "The most beautiful lotus still blooms from the black mud. When you accept yourself, that is when you truly grow up. Love and accept yourself as you are. When you love yourself, others will easily feel and respond to that love. Don't wait until you are perfect to allow yourself to be happy." Compassion begins when the ego is no longer present. In Buddhist philosophy, the ego is the source of all suffering. We cling to the ego, thinking that everything revolves around us, and feel hurt when things don't go as expected. Letting go of the ego is the way for us to find peace and harmony with the world around us. The Buddha told of a man who walked through the forest with an arrogant mind, thinking he was better than everyone else. When he encountered difficulties and got lost, he was forced to ask others for help. That's when he realized that lowering the ego is the path to freedom from suffering. When the ego disappears, compassion will arise. You will no longer try to prove yourself better than others, but learn to respect and love everyone. Like a river flowing naturally, compassion will spread and touch other hearts. Forgiveness is not just an action, but a process. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the hurt that others have caused, but letting go of the psychological burden that we impose on ourselves. Forgiveness is a way to free ourselves from the cycle of resentment and hatred. The story is about a woman who was betrayed by her husband. She lived for many years in hatred and self-destructed her life. One day she decided to forgive him, not to set him free, but so that she could move on without the burden of the past. Forgiveness is a way for us to live on, more gently and peacefully. Remember that forgiveness is not accepting the wrongs of others, but freeing our souls. Live kindly until the last minute. We cannot predict when our lives will end, but we can choose to live kindly until the last minute. As the Buddha taught, don't wait until you are about to die to know how to live. The story is about an old man who spent his whole life building his career and neglected his family. Near the end of his life, he realized that what was left was not money or fame, but family love. He sought out his children and grandchildren and lived his last days in tolerance and love. Cherish every moment you have with your loved ones. Life is impermanent, and the only thing that remains after all is the love and kindness you have given. What is not yours? Letting go is the way to find freedom. There are things we want to keep forever, but cannot. And there are things we want to let go of, but cannot bear to. Letting go is not giving up, but accepting change as an inevitable part of life. A Zen master taught his students that life is like holding sand in your hand. The tighter you hold on, the more the sand flows out. When you let go, the sand still lies in your palm. Don't try to hold on to things that have passed or worry about the future. Letting go is the only way to live freely in the present. What is truly yours will never leave, and what is not yours, no matter how hard you hold on, will not stay for long. Slow down, love more, and let go of unnecessary things. As the Buddha said, only the present is real life. Living with mindfulness and love will help you find joy and peace in every moment. Every day is a new opportunity for you to start over. Be kind, tolerant, and gentle with yourself and others. Life is not long, but long enough for you to create meaningful and beautiful things. Growth does not come easily, but from failures and injuries. Only when we face difficulties can we understand our inner strength and the value of patience. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha tells the story of a rice farmer. He had to face natural disasters, droughts, and pests for many years. But through these challenges, he learned to take better care of his crops and became the best farmer in the area. Difficulties are a part of life. Instead of avoiding them, face them and learn from them. Every adversity is a valuable lesson, helping us become stronger and understand ourselves better. Gratitude is the key to happiness. Living with gratitude helps us appreciate the simple things in life. When we are grateful, we not only feel happy, but also spread joy to those around us. A story is told about a man who lost his job. Instead of being pessimistic, he was grateful for the time he had to spend with his family and learn new skills. He eventually opened a small bakery and found happiness in his new job. Even if life doesn't turn out as expected, find the good in every situation. Gratitude doesn't change the past, but it helps you see life with a lighter and more positive mindset. In a noisy world, we often forget the value of silence. It is in silence that we can listen to our inner voice and find answers to complex problems. A monk once taught, "When water is muddy, the more you stir it, the muddier it becomes. But if you leave it alone, it will settle down." Likewise, when faced with a problem, instead of reacting hastily, stop and listen to your heart. Silence is not weakness, but the power of mindfulness. Take time each day to sit with yourself, calm your mind, and find inner peace. The law of karma: what you sow is what you reap. Every action has a corresponding consequence. The law of karma is one of the foundations of Buddhism, reminding us that every thought, word, and action has a consequence. Being kind not only brings blessings in this life, but also creates good karma for future lives. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha tells the story of a farmer who once gave a bowl of rice to a stranger when he was hungry. Later, when he was in trouble, the stranger came back to help him overcome his difficulties. Sow the seeds of kindness through your actions and words. You may not see the results immediately, but what you do today will affect your future and that of others. Slow down to see more. Life is not a race. In modern society, we are often caught up in the whirlwind of work and responsibility, forgetting to enjoy life. Slowing down helps us feel the beauty of each moment and find joy in simple things. A Zen master once told his student, "When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk." The student did not understand at first, but after focusing on each thing he did, he felt life became lighter and more meaningful. Don't rush after distant goals. Learn to slow down, give your soul time to rest, and enjoy the little things around you. Sincerity is the foundation of every relationship. A lasting relationship is not built on material things or promises, but on sincerity and mutual respect. When you treat others with a sincere heart, you will receive meaningful and lasting relationships in return. In a village, there was an old couple who had been together for over 50 years. When asked about the secret to their happiness, they said, "We never try to change each other, but always accept and love each other as they are." In any relationship, learn to love unconditionally, respect without judgment. When you live with sincerity, you will find relationships that are precious and long-lasting. Death is an inevitable part of life. Buddhism teaches that death is not the end, but part of the cycle of rebirth. The awareness of impermanence and death helps us learn to let go and appreciate what we have. A Zen master told his disciple, "When you know that one day you will die, you will appreciate every moment you live." The disciple then learned to live each day as if it were your last, and in doing so, he found joy in each moment. Do not fear death. See it as a reminder to live meaningfully and love fully. Living with mindfulness and love is the best way to prepare for the final farewell. The art of living and letting go. Life is like a river. It flows and never stops. We cannot control that flow, but we can learn to swim with it and enjoy the journey. The art of living lies in letting go of what is not yours and appreciating what you have. Live fully, love sincerely, and let go gently. When you do that, you will find peace of mind and joy in every moment. Practice mindfulness to escape stress. Mindfulness is the ability to recognize and live fully in the present, helping us escape the pressure of the past and anxiety about the future. When practicing mindfulness, the mind will become clear and negative emotions will gradually disappear. A student came to ask the Zen master, "How can I keep my mind free from worries?" The Zen master smiled and replied, "When you eat, know you're eating. When you walk, know you are walking." After practicing, the student realized that focusing on each action helped him escape negative thoughts. Mindfulness is not just about sitting in meditation, but can be applied to every daily action. Start by focusing on your breathing, listening to the sounds around you, feeling each step. You will see peace blossom in the present moment. Self-forgiveness, difficult but necessary. We are often harder on ourselves than anyone else. Carrying guilt makes the soul heavy and closed. Forgiving yourself is the first step on the path to freedom from suffering. In Buddhist scriptures, there is a story about a mother who accidentally caused an accident to her child and carried the torment for the rest of her life. When she went to see a monk, she was taught, "You cannot change the past, but you can love yourself in the present to heal that wound." From there, she found peace in her heart. Don't hold yourself in regret. Remember that everyone makes mistakes. When you forgive yourself, you will have enough strength to continue your journey and love more. Fate. Every encounter has meaning. In Buddhism, nothing happens by chance. Everyone who appears in our lives brings lessons, whether good or bad. Fate is not just a meeting, but a deep connection between souls in the flow of time. A Zen master said that someone complained about a friend who betrayed him. The Zen master said, "Thank you to that person, because thanks to them, I learned how to let go and grow up." Fate is not always pleasant, but it helps us understand ourselves and grow up. Be grateful for every fate, whether happy or sad. The people who come and go in your life all contribute to your development. Appreciation and gratitude are the keys to keeping your mind at peace. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the daring to face it. Fear is an indispensable part of life. The important thing is not to try to eliminate fear, but to learn to face it and move forward despite fear. Buddha once told a story about a man who was afraid of the dark. He only dared to walk with a lamp. But one day the lamp went out in the middle of the road. In the darkness, he realized that fear is not outside, but inside his mind. Don't let fear control your life. Be brave to step through worries and insecurities, because only when you face them will you find your true strength. Compassion in Buddhism is not only love for others, but also empathy, understanding and feeling the pain of all living beings. When we love unconditionally, our souls will become light and peaceful. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha tells about a monk who saw a wounded bird. Even though he was busy meditating, he still stopped, bandaged the bird, and released it back to the wild. It was this compassion that made no distinction between objects that brought his mind to the highest state of peace. Love is not just an emotion, but a specific action. Every day, find an opportunity to help someone, even if it is a small act. When you know how to give, you will feel joy and peace return to you. Waiting in silence is a form of wisdom. In modern society, we often feel impatient and always want to act to solve problems. However, sometimes waiting is necessary, and only through patience can we see the opportunity that arises. A Zen story tells of a farmer who was worried that his rice was not growing well. He decided to pull the stalks higher, but the result was that the whole crop was ruined. The Zen master told him, "Sometimes doing nothing is the right thing to do." In life, there are times when it is best to wait patiently instead of trying to control everything. Growth and good results often take time. Let things happen at their natural pace. Words are sharp weapons or healing tools. Words have the power to create happiness or suffering for others. In Buddhism, being careful with your words is a way to create good karma. Beautiful words not only help us connect with others, but also create merit for ourselves. In a sermon, the Buddha reminded that a kind word can warm someone all winter, but a malicious word can make them suffer all their life. Therefore, he advised his disciples to always think before speaking. Use your words to create joy and encourage others. Before saying anything, ask yourself, is this necessary? Does it hurt anyone? Words are precious assets. Use them wisely. The power of contentment. The art of escaping. The trap of desire. Knowing enough to find freedom. One of the biggest causes of suffering is endless desire. People are often caught up in the vortex of wanting and never feel satisfied. Knowing enough is the path to true freedom. He had, but was not happy. He went to see a Zen master for advice. The Zen master said, "If you want to be happy, learn to know enough." After that, he began to reduce his needs and found that life became much easier. Learn to be content with what you have. When you reduce your ambitions and expectations, you will find joy in simple things. Living simply is the best way to find peace. Forgiving others is forgiving yourself. Resentment is like holding a hot coal and hoping it will burn the other person. Forgiveness is not only about releasing the other person, but more importantly, it is about releasing yourself from the mental burden. The Buddha tells a story about a man who was betrayed by his best friend. After years of resentment, he went to the Buddha for advice. The Buddha said, "If you continue to hold grudges, you will suffer. Forgiveness is the best way to find happiness." Forgiveness is not weakness, but a form of wisdom. When you forgive, you not only free yourself from suffering, but also create an opportunity for peace of mind to return. Happiness is a process, not a result. We often think that we can only be happy when we reach a certain goal. But in reality, happiness lies in the journey, not the destination. Enjoying each step will bring you more joy than the final success. In the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha reminds us that the path to happiness is not a straight one. Sometimes the difficult parts of the journey are the most rewarding. Don't put all your hopes on the destination. Enjoy every moment and learn from the experiences along the way. You will find that true happiness lies not in the final success, but in how you move through each stage of life. True liberation comes from a free mind. Liberation is not about escaping from the world, but about escaping from the bonds in the mind. When the mind is no longer controlled by greed, anger, and delusion, it will reach a state of freedom and peace. A Zen master told a story about a bird locked in a cage. When the cage was opened, the bird did not fly out immediately because it was used to being bound. Similarly, we also need time to free ourselves from habits and prejudices. Liberation is not something far away, but can be achieved in every present moment. Let go of invisible bonds and live with a free mind. Life is a short and impermanent journey. It is not how much we achieve, but how we live. Live kindly, love sincerely, and let go of the unnecessary. When you do that, you will find peace of mind and joy in every moment. Love without expecting anything in return is a manifestation of true compassion. In Buddhism, unconditional love is considered the most noble love. Love is not to receive, but to spread positive energy, to help our souls be peaceful and others feel the warmth. A story about Buddha's mother tells that even though she knew her son would leave his family to seek the truth, she still supported his decision. She did not ask him to return because her love was sacrifice and understanding. Love is not always reciprocated, but it helps you become the best version of yourself. When you give without expecting anything in return, your soul will open and peace will come to you. Living each day to the fullest is the way to never regret. Life is a series of impermanent moments. Each day is an opportunity to do something meaningful and live sincerely with yourself and others. A wise man once said, "If today were the last day of your life, would you have any regrets?" This question helps us realize that the scariest thing is not death, but not daring to be true to yourself and your loved ones. Live each day as if it were your last. Don't let work, busyness, or fear keep you from doing what you love and expressing your feelings to your loved ones. When you live your life to the fullest, you will never have regrets. Letting go of the past is the first step to freedom. The past can teach you valuable lessons, but if you cling to it too much, you will lose opportunities for the present and the future. Letting go of the past is not forgetting, but learning to live without letting it control you. A Zen master said, "A man carried 2 buckets of water across a river. When he reached the shore, instead of putting the buckets down, he continued to carry them. The heaviness comes from not letting go, not from the bucket of water. Don't let the past hold you back. Let go of the hurts, mistakes, and regrets. The past cannot be changed, but the present and the future are in your hands. When you let go, you will feel light and free. Impermanence is the nature of all things. Everything in life changes: health, relationships, work, or the things we love. Accepting impermanence helps us to no longer be afraid of changes and to appreciate more what we have. The Buddha once taught his disciples, When a flower blooms, it begins to wither. But its withering is not the end, but the preparation for a new cycle. Everything in life operates according to that law. Instead of resisting change, learn to adapt. When you understand that nothing lasts forever, you will appreciate the most ordinary things and not be haunted by loss. Facing adversity, turning difficulties into opportunities. Adversity is a valuable lesson for maturity. No one can avoid difficulties in life. However, adversity is an opportunity for you to develop and train yourself. Through challenges, we learn to be patient, persistent, and more mature. There is a story about a butterfly trying to escape from its cocoon. A person saw it and helped it by tearing the cocoon. As a result, the butterfly could not fly because its wings were not trained. Difficulties are nature's way of helping us become stronger. Don't be afraid of adversity, because it is the best teacher. Instead of avoiding it, face difficulties and turn them into opportunities to develop yourself. Humility is the virtue of the strong. A humble person is not a weak person, but a person who knows his own worth and does not need to prove it to others. Humility helps us learn from others and avoid unnecessary conflicts. A wise man once said, "The more I learn, the less I know." Truly talented people always maintain a humble attitude and never stop learning because they know that knowledge is endless. Humility helps you live peacefully and build good relationships. Always remember, the important thing is not whether you are better than anyone else, but that you are becoming better than you were yesterday. Life is always full of challenges and changes, but you can find inner peace if you know how to love, let go, and accept impermanence. Happiness does not lie on the outside, but is the result of peace from within. Loving sincerely, living mindfully, and letting go of what does not belong to you is the path to liberation and peace. Life does not need to be perfect. You just need to live fully in each moment. The importance of time. Live fully today. Time is the most precious asset. In life, assets can be lost and earned again, but time once passed can never be returned. Understanding the value of time will help us live fully and not waste any moment. In a Zen story, a monk asked his student, "If you had only one day left to live, what would you do?" The student replied, "I would spend time with my family and do meaningful things." The monk replied, "Then why don't you live like that every day when no one knows how much time we have left?" Live with the awareness that each day is a priceless gift. Don't let petty worries waste your precious time. Every moment is an opportunity for you to live fully, love, and do meaningful things. Silence is not avoidance, but understanding. In a noisy society, many people think that silence is weakness, but in Buddhism, silence is a great strength. When we are silent, we have the opportunity to listen to ourselves and understand our feelings and those of others. The Buddha once advised his disciples, "Be as silent as the forest, so that your soul has the opportunity to listen to the voice from deep within you." When our minds are quiet, we find clearer answers. Don't be afraid of silence. Silence is not weakness, but a way to understand yourself and others. Take time for silence to listen and heal your inner wounds. Death is an inevitable part of life. In Buddhism, death is not the end, but a transformation. Recognizing and accepting death helps us live more fully and meaningfully. The Buddha once told of a mother who lost her son and could not accept the loss. He advised her to find a mustard seed from a family that had never known death. After traveling everywhere and not finding such a family, she understood that death is natural and found peace in her heart. See death as an inevitable part of life. When you accept impermanence, you will appreciate every moment of life more and treat those around you better. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is strength. Carrying resentment only weighs down your soul. Forgiveness is the only way to free yourself from negative emotions. A man was betrayed by his best friend and carried resentment for many years. When he went to see a Zen master for advice, the Zen master said, "Resentment is like holding a hot coal tightly. The other person may not be affected, but you are the one who gets burned." Forgiveness is not forgetting what happened, but letting go of negative emotions to live more lightly. When you forgive, you will feel true peace and happiness. Knowing enough is the way to free yourself from suffering. People are often caught up in the vortex of ambition and never feel satisfied. Knowing enough is the way for us to live peacefully and not be controlled by suffering. In one of his sermons, the Buddha told a story about a man who was always chasing after money and fame. Even though he had achieved many things, he still did not feel happy. Buddha said, "Happiness does not lie in what you have, but in feeling satisfied with what you have." Knowing enough does not mean giving up all desires, but being satisfied with the present and not letting ambition take away the joy of life. When you know enough, your mind will become light and free. Embrace difficulties. Grow through every challenge. Difficulties are the greatest teachers. Challenges in life are not negative things, but valuable lessons that help us grow and develop ourselves. The Buddha said that a goldsmith needs to heat gold many times to remove impurities and create a perfect product. Similarly, difficulties in life are the way for our souls to be refined and become stronger. Don't avoid difficulties, but learn from them. Every challenge is an opportunity for you to discover your abilities and become the best version of yourself. Live gently and peacefully in every moment. Life is a journey full of changes and challenges, but when you know how to love, forgive, and let go, you will find true peace and happiness. Being mindful in every moment and appreciating the present is the key to living meaningfully. Live each day with a peaceful mind, love unconditionally, and accept everything with gratitude. When you live with an open heart and a gentle spirit, you will not only find happiness for yourself, but also spread joy to everyone around you.